When you look at this picture, imagine a couple looking at their next property online, curious and full of anticipation. Did you know that Steve Jobs unveiled the iPad 3 years after the iPhone in January 2010? This technology was only able to catch on then, after people also had access to cheap and fast internet. Meanwhile, we already live in a digital society. Corona has certainly accelerated this. For example, many companies also offer online appointments as video meetings and virtual tours. Talking about digital real estate brokerage, would you like to unleash the full potential? In this presentation, I am introducing a worldwide unique technology for which I can also deliver the appropriate concept. Our topics today are divided into 2 chapters. Part 1 explains the basics of the real estate exchange portal. This is the focus of this presentation. Part 2 puts these basics in context with the overall concept. As a software-as-a-service provider, Immotausch offers usage rights to other companies, which I will explain in more detail later. In order to better understand the benefits for your company, I will first portrait the status quo in the real estate and financial market and point out the relevant data for your company. By means of an explainer video, I will convey to you the unique selling point of our offer before presenting the particular suitability of the software architecture for your purposes. For you, I will summarize the advantages for your institution and for your customers before I give an outlook on the resulting added values. The potential of the additional revenue I will depict by means of graphics at the end of Part 1. In Germany, where Immotausch is founded, several million potential buyers are faced with around 200,000 offers. Changing real estate in Germany is therefore a Sisyphean task for many. As a consequence, many people have to make compromises in their real estate search. True real estate dreams usually remain unfulfilled. Currently, consumer prices are rising dramatically, while salaries are developing only very slightly. In addition, interest rates on real estate loans have increased by about 3% in the past 6 months. To offset the higher interest rates, real estate prices would have to fall by about a quarter. However, due to price increases in other areas, sellers expect real estate prices to continue to rise. This creates a real estate price dilemma for those who must use their current property to finance their next property. Those who sell their current property first risk further real estate price increases and thus loss of purchasing power. The other way around, those who first notarize the purchase contract for the next property at high prices risk that the market value for the current property decreases. What is your group and customer structure? As a financial institution, you may be part of a group that serves millions of customers nationwide as insurer, bank, savings bank, or building and loan society. As a regional sales organization, you serve several thousand to several hundred thousand customers and break down into several local organizational units. As a local branch, such as an agency or a broker, you serve several hundred to several thousand customers. As an institution, you might be already offering several products and services from the areas of insurance, finance, and real estate. In cooperation with Immotausch, you can fill up your product and service portfolio. If you look at the number of customers you serve, consider the percentage of real estate owners in your country. Many prospective buyers used to say to me, "You can sell my property if you get me the property I need." Meaning, for example, an apartment with an elevator in exchange for a house with a garden, and vice versa. Keep the following Gretchen question in mind when I present our offer to you in a moment. How do you keep with the potential from property owners of an owner-occupied property who want a change in the medium to long term? Ask your customers, what are you looking for? And what do you vacate once you've found what you're looking for? I call the result an exchange profile. Even easier, use Immotausch as a tool to get and use this information.
Are you desperate to find your dream property or planning to make a change? This is also the case for Paul, Sven, and Ralph. Paul's family wants a house with a bigger garden. Sven and his wife would like to live in an age-appropriate way. Instead of a house with a large garden, they would prefer an apartment with an elevator. Ralph lives in such an apartment. He dreams of a house with a small garden. They don't want to sell until they find their dream property, but simply can't find a suitable offer. This is how millions of people feel. There is a simple way to find the dream property and the right buyer at the same time. On Immotausch.net, all three deposit an exchange profile. To do this, they save their exchange offer and search. Search and offer now run simultaneously. The more people join in, the larger the total offer becomes. A unique exchange algorithm reveals who is the right interested party for the current property in order to obtain the desired property in a ring exchange. If reduced to the exchange price, you can significantly reduce the additional costs. Instead of searching for a suitable property under time pressure and making unwanted compromises, you can find your dream property quickly and easily. Register now on Immotausch.net and create your exchange profile. We are happy to support you from the beginning, even with long-term sales requests. From us, you will receive suitable offers for your search as well as the right interested party. Immotausch. Simply living better.
As a software-as-a-service provider, Immotausch offers usage rights to other companies in order to be able to offer real estate exchange to their own customers. In doing so, they can act as brokers in return for a success commission. However, they can also offer the final customer licenses free of charge or integrate them into other tariffs. For example, combine them with property insurance, a building society tariff, or pension scheme. The software architecture is unique among real estate portals. Immotausch represents the superordinated network portal. The architecture already integrates multiple user levels. At the top of each organizational unit is the company level as a super agency or agency. Here, for example, user rights and employee accounts are administered within the scope of the purchase services. The employees take care of the end customers and their search ads, real estate offers, and exchange profiles. I refer to them as agents. The import function provides that they invite the end customers by link in a circular email to register themselves in the customer portal. The input of the data and profiles can then be done by the end customers. There is a whole range of advantages for you. The resulting exchange profiles increase the number of your marketing objects many times over. You create a parallel market to the current offers and start the mediation cycle already with the desire for a property exchange. You place search ads, which can turn out to be a lead machine for new contacts with property owners. Landlords can become new customers in multiple lines of business. From sellers, you will receive new sales orders. Our ring exchange algorithm makes it easier for you to accompany a large number of additional real estate transactions from this parallel market. Since only you can facilitate these transactions, you will automatically be the first point of contact for any additional questions. As a result, you will accompany more financing transactions. Offering such a socially sustainable service will also strengthen your reputation and the satisfaction of all stakeholders. Your customers, in turn, look forward to a much larger offer market. In this market, they can actually find and obtain their desired properties. Through the digitization tools and the possibilities around the real estate exchange, they save time and costs in the process. You could summarize: with Immotausch, your customers can be simply living better. Let's take a look at the future. You are expanding the real estate business and taking market share from everyone who is not part of the network. The ring exchange algorithm stimulates cooperation within the overall network. This is because it also finds cross-company matches within and outside your group of companies. We thereby create an invisible alliance for the establishment of this new market. Your property pipeline becomes significantly longer and wider. In the coming years, you are already paving the way for the transactions of the next decades. This gives you insight into the fate threads of real estate transactions. Thanks to digitization, the sales organization even doesn't have to be expanded much. Your customers deposit the exchange profiles in the end customer portal. The matching process and ring exchange algorithm take over the crucial next steps. What follows will in some cases be just enough effort to justify a commission invoice, not only based on the proof, but also based on the brokerage activity. What does this added value look like in figures? Let's assume you receive an average brokerage commission of 20,000 euros per property sold. Let's further assume that the financing of these properties runs through your house with an average financing amount of 300,000 euros. As a local sales organization, you receive a commission of around 1% for financing. If you manage 10 transactions per quarter, you will increase your turnover by 4.6 million within 5 years. As a local or regional financial institution, we might in addition assume a margin of at least 0.5% for a total term of 25 years. You receive the brokerage commission quite quickly. That covers the costs of distribution and the licenses. In the long run, you profit most from the additional financing volume. If these assumptions apply to 1,000 of your customers, you will generate additional sales of around 60 million euros. As soon as we consider larger regional institutions, we leave out a commission for arranging the financing, as this is intended for the lower organizational units and sales. Here, we assume a margin of 0.7% of the financing amount. If this sales organization achieves brokerage of real estate and loans for 10,000 customers, this means additional turnover of 725 million euros. To complete the series of thoughts, we consider this analysis for a group of companies operating nationwide. If this sales organization manages 300,000 transactions based on the ring exchange concept offered, this will stimulate additional business amounting to 21.75 billion euros. If you are a financial group, you have already been offering an all-round service package for a long time. In the second part of this presentation, I would like to show you how the Immotausch all-round concept represents such an all-round service and also complements existing packages offered by institutions. For this purpose, I will again summarize the status quo, followed by the concept and the advantages for you as an institution, as well as for your customers. Currently, the situation is as follows. Owner-occupiers buy and sell their properties every time they change their home. This results in very high transaction costs. These additional purchase costs must generally be financed by the buyers from their own capital. This raises the entry hurdle for acquiring the first property, but also for switching to another property. In the case of a switch, the enormous difference between the real value and the market value makes interim financing almost impossible. In general, consumers cannot be sure how property values and financing terms will develop. This creates a great deal of uncertainty. The overall concept of Immotausch GmbH provides for support in building up and owning real estate assets, also as fractional ownership, starting from a denomination of 125 euros up to the consumption of real estate in old age. Within our rent-to-own model, consumers are to have the possibility of building up country-widely transferable real estate fortune, which they can take along as with a cooperative from one real estate to the next. The resulting collective offers to act as a co-investor for the properties, so that even customers who do not have access to bank financing due to their creditworthiness are given an opportunity to accumulate real estate assets and acquire real estate property. In old age, these assets can then be used up as part of the real estate consumption process. For example, as a real estate life annuity and to finance a property for senior citizens or for long-term care.
As a real estate exchange portal and broker, Immotausch accompanies people on their lifelong real estate journey. After childhood, you leave your children's or teenagers' room and keep saving, even during education or studies, to slowly build up your own life. Within a shared apartment room or the first own apartment, you live with 10 to 50 square meters, still in a comparable size range, usually for rent. When you start your career, you'll reward yourself with a bigger apartment that gives you enough room to grow. We help you to find the right apartment. This way, you can always exchange your previous apartment for an apartment that suits your current life situation, even as you build up your professional experience and enter into a partnership. After some time, you start a family and want to own an appropriate apartment. We offer 2 real estate subscription models in which you build up real estate credits within our collective, and thus you can also exchange the family apartment for a house without having to pay real estate transfer tax. We invest in age-appropriate living and offer you real estate consumption products. So you trade your real estate assets for lump sum payments, credit line or annuity, and have a safe place in a senior residence and nursing apartment. Invest in collective shares today and receive additional participation in the company's profit. Immotausch. Simply living better.
Integrating Immotausch and the concept of the lifelong real estate journey into your business will result in the following benefits for you. You have an easy-to-understand and true-to-life customer journey, from rent to own to the end of life. You expand your product line to include a variety of contemporary savings and real estate consumption products. You combine your status as a licensee with a product and distribution partnership and the function as an investor and lender. As such, you can also buy into properties nationwide through fractional ownership and real estate consumption products. Ultimately, this is a whole life cycle concept where assets can also be passed down and exchanged across generations. This also allows you to build lifelong customer loyalty. From your customer's perspective, you offer contemporary savings, financing, and pension products. You enable your customers to secure housing needs for all ages. The nationwide rent-to-own model and the ability to obtain a fixed co-investment is a very interesting and new option for many customers. Taking real estate assets from one property to the next can result in savings of around 150,000 euros for your customers over the life cycle. Patrick Reel is the founder of Immotausch. As a trained real estate agent, he started his own business at the age of 24. 8 years ago, he had the vision for the project. A few years later, he made a lateral move into insurance and finance and integrated the vision into an overall concept. As managing director of Immotausch GmbH, he developed the prototype for Immotausch and has already filed several patents for the ring exchange algorithm and the software architecture. His mission? He wants to help people to find their dream properties easier, better, and faster. The goal is to establish a system that accompanies people around the topic of housing, as well as building, securing, and consuming real estate assets. Thereby, the offered services and products are also offered online. In this respect, Immotausch combines the areas of real estate, insurance, and finance as a PropTech, FinTech, and InsurTech company. Thank you for your attention and interest. We hope we have been able to inspire you. Let us now define the next steps together.